Thank you, Joyce. That was a great introduction. I am very honored to be selected for this award, and part of the reason that Joyce was selected to present me is because my lovely wife of 51 years, 5 happy years. If she were up here, she'd tell you that was when I was on the road the most. Anyway, I'd like to introduce my wife, Bonnie. Mrs. Paul. This is called the Iron Mike Award, and Mike Mazurki was a very skilled wrestler, skilled actor, a very benevolent man, and I'm very pleased and honored to be awarded this. It was named after him, who was like iron in the ring and when he was acting. However, at my age, and after being in the ring for many years, I feel more like sedentary rock. I think I've settled, but you know, out of rock, they find ore. And in some ore, it's iron. And if you process it, it becomes other things. So I just want to relate to you that when I was in the Army, I had an injury, so I wrote to promoter Joe Dusick, having had an amateur wrestling career for a while. And I wrote to Joe Dusick, the promoter in Omaha, and he sent me back a nice. I wrote all my credentials. It's a long list, and I'm sure he showed it to all the boys in the dressing room, and they went, "Ha ha ha!" That's, you know, just for a good laugh. But anyway, he sent me back a nice letter. He said, "I'll introduce you to Vern Gagne," because he didn't have any facilities to train me. So when I got out of the Army, I went to the TV station. I called Joe. I went to the TV station. He introduced me to Vern Gagne. Vern Gagne took some rough, sedentary rock, maybe a little iron ore in it, maybe not. He took it and he formed a mold. And then another guy named Maurice from Algeria via French Canada. He saw me, little Jimmy Raschke from Nebraska, get out in front of the mic on the TV station after I'd set up the ring. They'd have me do interviews, practice interviews, and Marty O'Neill, the little announcer, he was only about this tall, and all the wrestlers in the territory at the time were at least as tall as I was. And Marty would say, so-and-so, and he'd hold the mic up so they could talk into the mic. So they'd have me come out, and I'd go out there, little Jimmy Raschke from Nebraska, and he would say, "Well, Jim, you're training for professional wrestling. How is that?" And then he'd go, and I'd go, "Well, I went out and I ran and I did this and I lifted that and I did." Terrible, terrible, terrible. So anyway, this guy I'd never met, came into the territory, and he noticed me, and he'd been a wrestling champion for Canada. He was an Olympic participant, and he was the Commonwealth Games champion. And he liked me because I had an amateur background, and I didn't even know him. But he said, "You'd make a good German." He said that to me 3 or 4 weeks in a row, and finally I had enough courage to say, he said, "You'd make a good German." And finally after 4 or 5 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 weeks, I don't know, I said, I got the courage to say, well, I am German. And he said, and he went to the ring, beat up somebody, and came back. Didn't talk to me anymore. Anyway, after a couple of weeks, I met him out in the ring when I was setting up the ring, refereeing, and he said, we got to be friends. And he said, I'd like you to come up to Montreal, Canada, and be my partner. Anyway, by then I met my wife Bonnie, and we fell in love. We got married, and in the spring we headed up to Canada. And I didn't know that much about Canada, but when we got there, I had my first match as Baron von, well, he wanted to call me Pumpkin. I said, no, I don't think so, dog. Anyway, he called me, we called me Baron von Raschke, and from that point on, I spoke in a German accent, and I was interviewed by a French-speaking Canadian announcer, and I was speaking to mostly a French-Canadian audience whose first language was French, although most of them spoke very, very good English. I got on there, and suddenly I went from little Jimmy Raschke from Nebraska to Baron von Raschke, who could interview, who could talk on the microphone, who could tell a story. Although the one I've been telling right now hasn't been floating so well, it'll get better. I promise you that. I promise you that. And this guy, Baron von Raschke, will leave Winnipeg, Canada, as a future star in the wrestling business, because what somebody takes as sedentary rock, takes as iron ore, they put in their fire, and that's exactly what Mad Dog did with Baron von Raschke. He put me in the fire night after night. There were riots. Mad Dog's heat, my heat. Mad Dog this tall, me this tall. A combination that clicked. We got over sensational, and like JR said, there were riots, not only getting out of the ring, but getting to the ring. And from that time on, my career soared, and I went from place to place as Baron von Raschke, except in St. Louis, where I was just plain old von Raschke. Anyway, that's beside the point. So here I am. I'm very happy, very proud, very honored to have been considered for this award, let alone to receive it. I thank the committee, all the people that voted for me, and I thank for all the fans. One of the reasons we picked Joyce to introduce me is because I owe my career, as we all know in the business, to our fans. And she's the epitome of a great fan, and she represents all of you people that are fans. She's been just wonderful, and I think you all should give yourselves a hand, because without the fans, we have no business. And now, I don't want to take up much more of your time. And that is all you need to know.